Today, Saturday, 2nd of December. We are studying Shrimad Bhagavad Gita and we are going ahead in our study. Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, why to study? Is it only a epic? Is it only a katha? ये क्या कथा है जिसको सुनने से श्रवण करने से हमें स्वर्ग मिलेगा? This is not like that. It is to understand the life, it is to understand the purpose of the life, it is to be happy. In one sentence, if somebody asks, why should I study Shrimad Bhagavad Gita? You should be happy. You should be happy in this world, not heaven. Not that you will get something in return. It is to be happy here and now. And that is why this our whole Gita study program. The name of the program itself is Shrimad Bhagavad Gita for me, today, now and in future. That is the purpose of our program. And under that program we are studying Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. So we will go further on the second chapter. Second chapter is Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga nama Dvitiya Adhyayaha. Dvitiya, second. Dvitiya means second. Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is the study of oneself and relationship of oneself with the world and identifying oneself. Who am I? The question of who am I is answered in Sankhya Yoga. In Sankhya Yoga, there is nothing like meditation. God doesn't, there is no actually the existence of God. Bhagwan jaisa kuch bhi nahi hai Sankhya Yoga mein. Yeah, there is identification of creator, but there is no identification of Bhagwan, jiski bhakti karo, puja karo. Yeah, you have an idol of the God and worship the idol. Nothing like that. Sankhya Yoga, all those people who think themselves as a very, very intellectual people, they want to put their brain, their intellect in everything they do. For them, Sankhya Yoga is the chapter which we should be studying. So we are studying second chapter Sankhya Yoga, and in the 62nd sloka we understood that how the anger is created, why the anger is created. Anger is created through the moha, that is the sloka. And we are going forward on that sloka. The whole, all these 3 or 4 slokas are in continuation with each other, and it is telling us exactly how do we do the mistakes in our life. How do we make a mistake in our life? And then we repent. Then we think that, oh, I should not have done this. Then we think, oh, I should have done something else. So why does the mistakes happen in life? That is what is answered in these slokas. So we'll go further for the anger level, from the anger. So sangat sanjayate kama, kamat krodho vijayate. So we were up to that kamat krodho vijayate. We understood that the krodha, the anger, is happening because of the kama. And kam here is not only in a very narrow meaning of the lust. It is having much more bigger and wider definition, which we studied last time. So we'll go further on 63rd sloka today. And I will chant the sloka first. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smruti vibramaha, smruti branchad buddhinasho, buddhinashad pranashyati. God has told the sequence again. In sequence. First we studied that when we are having sangat sanjayate kama, when we are coming in contact with something, then we have the greed for it, then we have a need for it, we want it, and then we get connected with it and we start falling in love with it. Up to that level it is still okay, up to need level it is still okay. But when it becomes a want level and more than want, it becomes the moha, it goes into a more snowball effect. A snowball effect to go in a wrong direction. So here, krodhat bhavati sammoha, anger leads to clouding the judgment, which results in bewilderment of memory. When the memory is bewildered, smruti dhanshad, memory is bewildered. Sammoha means clouding of judgment, and smruti is memory. So vibrama is bewilderment. So when the memory is bewildered, the intellect gets destroyed. And when the intellect is destroyed, one is ruined. Pranashyati means ruined. And buddhinasha means destruction of intellect. So it is telling sequence. In Hindi we can say, क्रोध से उत्पन्न होता है मोह और मोह से स्मृति विभ्रमा. सम्मोह पैदा होता है और सम्मोह से स्मृति विभ्रमा पैदा होती है. और स्मृति के भ्रमित होने पर बुद्धि का नाश होता है और बुद्धि के नाश होने से वह मनुष्य नष्ट हो जाता है. सो इट इज सिक्वेंशियल. इट्स लाइक बुलेट पॉइंट 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once you go to the level 1, then you go to level 2, level 3, level 4, like that. So here we were talking about the krodha, anger, and it is told here, krodhat bhavati sammoha. Sammoha, clouding of judgment. The anger is creating the clouding of judgment. So because of this sloka, many people have identified this. Many people have referenced this sloka, but in a wrong way, in an incorrect way, or I will say in an incomplete way. So we will try to understand that point today, because this has come as a very, very, adulteration of thoughts in the life. Very adulteration of thoughts. It's giving us a incorrect perception of one of our best quality, which is anger. So let us think about anger today. A little bit more on the anger, because here it is told that krodhat bhavati sammoha. That means you should not be becoming angry. Yeah, anger is bad. हमें कहा गया है, we are told, क्रोध नहीं करना, क्रोध करने से पाप होता है, क्रोध बुरा है, क्रोध नहीं होना चाहिए. Yeah, there are millions of people who are telling, don't become angry. Isn't? In the school also, in job also, there is anger management. There are hundreds and thousands of companies who teach anger management. There are people, psychiatrists, who say how to do the anger management. So does it mean that anger is bad? Does it mean that we should not be angry any time? Why did God created the anger then? If it is bad, imagine, will a father, a loving father, give something wrong to his son? He will not. He will not give something wrong to his son whom he loves. God loves us. Why will he give us the quality of anger? Why will he give us? Should we not have anger at all? We will think about it. Is anger necessary in life? We are always told, don't be angry. Yeah. And we see that the anger is in every place. Anger is there in animals, anger in infants. Even a smallest infant, like 3-month-old, will also show an anger. I am hungry. He is going to cry. The expression of anger is different in different animals at different stage of life. But there is an anger. The child will cry to the highest volume. I am hungry. I have done potty, cleaned my diaper. Yes, even the infant is going to cry with the loudest voice. Animals, we see animals having angry. There are angry animals. So anger is given to every live being, even in the fish. They fight amongst each other. So anger is there. Why did God give us anger? What is the purpose of giving this to? So anger is used, or anger can be defined in two ways. Number one, it is a force. Anger is a force, and anger is internal energy. Anger is a force, anger is an internal energy. It helps the person to work against all the odds. When a person becomes angry, it is an indication of resistance. It is an indication of active participation against something which is not assumed to be correct in life. Anger makes a person becoming active and not passive in the life. But using the anger in what direction is important part. How do we use this tool of anger in our life is important. And that is going to decide not only our personal life, but also our social life. Let us take various examples. One of the excellent example in today's life, if we see the use of anger, is of a person whose name is Dashrath Manji. Dashrath Manji. He is a person who is considered as a mountain man in India. What happened to Dashrath Manji? He is a very poor man. He is coming from a very small village. He is coming from a village which is at a distant place. It is not city. They don't have access to even the regular resources like water, electricity, internet, mobile telephones, roads. He lives in that kind of a village. So one day he was having his wife pregnant, and he has to take his wife to the nearest doctor, nearest medical facility, because wife was pregnant and she was in great labor pain. Because they are in a village where they are unable to get any medical facility in the village, they had to go to a nearby village where they can have the medical facility. But because it is a distance from a village, there was a mountain in between, a small mountain. And while passing through that mountain, the wife couldn't pass through the mountain. She fell off and she delivered the baby on the road. And the wife died. This is what happened to Dashrath Manji in India. And he is still alive. So this is not, I am talking about something way back. This is today's example of anger management. So what happened is that the wife died. And there is a newborn baby in the hands of Mr. Manji. Imagine the amount of anger. Imagine the amount of agony that man must have felt when his wife died on the road delivering the baby. How much angry that person must have felt. But how did he use his anger? He saw that because of this small mountain, we have to take a long path. We have to take a very long path to go to the next village. And every villager is finding it difficult because there are old people, there are pregnant ladies, there are medical conditions. They cannot reach in time. And even if they reach, sometimes it is late. And also, it's not only late, but also it is too much troublesome. So what did he decide? He decided that I will make a road, I will cut a road across this mountain without anybody's help. If nobody comes to me, I don't mind. I will cut a road through this. He is a poor man. He doesn't have any machinery. He used his hand and hand tools and he started cutting the mountain. That is what happened to Dashrath Manji. And after the effort of 22 years alone, because many people told him that he is a foolish guy, nobody can do that. 22 years alone, hand tools, cutting the road through mountain. He cut the road of 360 feet, which was only a small segment required to cut the mountain through and to get a road. He did it. He made the road. It took him 22 years to finish it. But he completed the work. Now that road is being used by every villager and they are so happy for that. Where to use the anger is very important. but anger must be there. There has to be anger gives us a feeling of commitment. Anger gives us a push to continue through odds. So anger is necessary. When people say that do not have an anger, that is incorrect. Another example in our Indian history is of Chanakya. When Chanakya came from Takshashila to Nalanda and he asked for the help that Alexander is invading our country, he told Nand was the king at that time. He told Nanda that you should stand up and fight against Alexander. And Nanda doesn't want to fight. He is relaxed. He is telling, I am not worried. It is the Takshashila. Takshashila means it is Afghanistan, the border of Afghanistan, Pakistan area. That is a place where there was a country named Takshashila. Takshashila, it was a university. And Taxla was a city. Takshashila was a city also. So, he was so angry. When there is an attack on the culture of my country, when there is an attack on the soil of my country, if I am not angry against it, if I am not ready to, act against it and fight, then there is no use. So Chanakya was so angry, he told that I am not going to tie my knot in my shikha. Yeah, that was something very big. At present, we are not even keeping shikha. So nobody can even imagine that what it is. Today, if somebody can want to do an equivalent, something in today's generation, then they can say that I am not going to use my mobile phone. Or I am not going to use my computer. Till I get this. Something similar. But at a lower level. Because not tying a shikha is something very big for a Brahmin, for Chanakya. And he told, I am not going to tie my shikha till I remove Nanda from his thorn. Remember, it is kingdom, it is dynasty. It is not elected member of parliament, where you can remove a person by election. It is dynasty. You can't even touch a person. He is born with the authority. And he told that I am going to remove Nanda. And not only remove the Nanda, the king, but all his lineage. He killed everyone and started with the new king and the new kingdom. That is where the Gupta Vansha started. Chandragupta. He destroyed. That is anger. How to use an anger is a skill. We see sports stars, bodybuilders, university topper students. They are angry inside. Why can't I do it? Why I am unable to do this? So use that quality of anger in life. Use that quality of commitment which comes from the anger. It is important to understand here. Because this sloka has been so much misquoted by the people. And even there are schools of thoughts who say, oh, he didn't become angry at all. This person never becomes angry. If somebody is doing something wrong with my mother means anybody, mother means biological mother, my mother country, my mother cow. And if I am not angry, how come I am a good son? How come I am a good son of my country, of my culture, of my mother, of my family? How will I express the gratitude? So anger is necessary. So this sloka is quoted by many people that because krodhat bhavati sammoha, sammoha, because the anger makes the cloudy judgment, never become angry. That is an incorrect perception. You must become angry, but it should not cloud your judgment. So how does it happen? How the anger can not cloud the judgment? Anger will not cloud the judgment if there is no, if the anger is not created through the moha. For a selfish reason, when we become angry, our judgment is clouded. For a non-selfish reason, When we become angry, the judgment is perfect and it leads us to an action, a positive action, a constructive action. So the krodha, the word krodhat bhavati sammoha told here is for the krodha, for the anger which is created through the selfish reason. It is not the anger overall, it is not the anger in general. This sloka has been quoted many times by many people in a giving a wrong perception to the people. So, and we cannot do that. And also one last thing is, because anger is one of the quality with which we are born, we cannot be not angry at all in the life. Not possible. Anybody in life will become angry. You cannot leave it. How to use it? How to use that quality is the skill. So let us go further on the sloka here. Krodhat bhavati sammoha, clouding of the judgment. Yeah. So the sequence is explained here as sammoha. What is sammoha? When the intellect gets disturbed to a level when the judgment is clouded. Delusion. We cannot understand and take a correct action. It creates a delusion. Our intellect becomes in such a state when the action and its results are not evaluated before taking the action. That is delusion. That is sammoha. Insistence of experience takes over the capacity to judge. What does it mean? Insistence of experience. What is experience is basically moha. Yeah. Doctor has told me that you have got a diabetes, acute diabetes, you should not eat sugar. But because I have got so much moha, my tongue, my senses, my tongue is telling me I need sweet, I need sweet, I need sweet. I have a moha developed for gulab jamun. And then we have heard many people, जो होता है वो देखा जाएगा, I don't care, I will do this. हाँ. जो होगा देखा जाएगा, I will smoke. So what? I will die, no problem, but I will smoke. That is what we have heard many people telling. That is sammoha. The judgment is gone. Being totally under the control of the objects and the senses through it. We are controlled by it. We should be in control. Instead, we are controlled by our senses. We are controlled by the object. That is where the level of sammoha starts. The loss of feeling. There is also one more factor here, although it is not part of Sankhya Yoga, but what happens there, that we think that we are in control. The beautiful part is that we are totally out of control, but still in that sammoha level, we think that I am in control. So I will do this so that I can achieve this. This is what is the state of mind when the sammoha comes. We forget that there are variables, there are infinite variables in life. There is a God factor. There is a destiny factor. We forget it. When we forget all that, we start acting in delusion. Loss of feeling. Yeah, मुझे ही चाहिए, मुझे चाहिए, मुझे ही चाहिए और मुझे सबसे ज़्यादा चाहिए. I need it, only I should have it, and I need it maximum. And now, so we lose the understanding of equality in humans. Equality among all. We forget the reverence to the nature, respect of others' existence, their choices and their rights. We forget it. That is sammoha. So, what's the difference between moha and sammoha? Because there is a krodha, there is a anger in between. We had a moha, then we had a, so it was like this. We had moha, we had sangha, sangha created moha, moha created krodha, anger, and the anger created sammoha. So what's the difference between the level of moha and sammoha? That is to be understood. In moha, a person can still wait. In moha, a person is anxious, but he can still wait. He is ready to wait. And sometimes he leaves it also. He can still leave. Unless there is a krodha, unless there is an anger created, a person can come out of moha. Sometimes we hear people, Mera moha bhang ho gaya. Yeah. He can come out. Until the krodh and lobha has come, in moha, a person can come out. We know know a very well known story of fox and grapes, right? A fox was going, we always tell that story to the kids, but we have never understood even as an adult also. When we go, we have heard the story. There was a fox going, fox was hungry, he was going, he saw a nice vine of grapes, yeah, on the top. He thought, wow, very nice grapes. He created moha, right? He has a moha. So he thought, I will jump and I will grab some grapes. I will grab some grapes and eat it. So he is jumping. He is jumping. But fox is a small animal. Fox is not a big animal. It cannot climb on the vine. So fox tried jumping, got tired. He thought, looks like the grapes are sour. And the fox walks away. We have always heard this story. A simple, small story to the kids. We tell, grade 1 kids. But we forget that the same is applicable to us also, at every level. Even in the oldest age, even at the age of 95, the same story is applicable. Now, अभी मुझे गाड़ी का मोह नहीं है. Yeah. Now I don't have any moha for the cars. Why? Because you are 85, you can't drive more than 40 kilometer speed. You can't see properly. You cannot pass your driving test. Then you say, abhi mujhe moh nahi hai. That is not the moha. That is not the way to live the moha. Anyway, but the example here, why it is? Because the moha is still a place of return. If somebody will ask, moha is still a place of return. We can still return. Once it goes into the krodha and some moha, the delusion, then we cannot return. No entry, no reversal. One-way traffic, one-way road. So having a moha is still, it's not good, but it is still acceptable. We see, we are all common people. Yeah. Aam Admi, mango people. We are all mango people. We are not sadhus. We cannot be, everybody cannot be sannyasi. Everybody cannot be sannyasi. At every age, suppose I am telling a 25-year-old boy or a 25-year-old girl that ye samaj to moh hai, dunya maya hai. And if he or she doesn't decides, okay, I don't want to marry. Every girl and boy decides, I don't want to get married. What will happen? Next generation will not come. Every human race will die within a span of 20, 30 years. So we cannot say that. Practically also we cannot say that. And secondly, with the moha, we use our senses and we enjoy the life. We cannot, everybody, all the people, common people, mango people, we cannot live the life. We have to live our life with happiness. And happiness is coming to us through the senses only. So to be happy, ask anyone, what do you want to be? And they will say, I want to be happy in life. If you want to be happy in life, you have to use your senses. So having a moha is not bad, it's okay. A old man, a 75-year-old man, a 80-year-old man is playing with the grandkids, enjoying. The same girl who played with the dolls and playing, what is called as a gargar, like playing house. The same old lady at the age of 75 is again playing with the dolls, with a grandkid, with a granddaughter. And she is enjoying. What is wrong in it? Having love, having affection, being in family is correct. Even our gods have family. Look at it. Shankar Bhagwan has Ganapati as his son. Every god has a family. Except Hanumanji, we have got every god which has a family. Shankar Bhagwan got married with Mata, Amba Mata, Parvati. When our gods get married, why not we? So it is very important to understand that moha is still okay. Up to that extent, it is still okay that you have you feel something again for some you have a feeling for something and you want it. It's okay. It's not totally correct, but it is not totally wrong also. Again, same quality of moha. Why not to have the moha in God? Every big bhakta, every big devotee has told themselves as a woman. They say, God is my husband. Every big, in every religion, they have told that I am a wife of the God. Love, affection, use the same qualities for a better application. That is what is required. So sammoha is very bad. And smruti vibrama, loss of equanimity. Capacity to think about the consequences is completely lost at this stage. We completely lose the capacity for logical thinking in this state. Smruti vibrama, Brahmit, mood from the reality is Brahmit. Main Brahmit ho gaya. Means my intellect was unable to understand and I took a incorrect action. When the Smruti Vibrama starts, then the Vibrama is creating a force to do a incorrect action. Smruti Vibrama. So what is Smruti Vibrama? Have an example of Smruti Vibrama is many big people. We have seen many big people who have done really totally ununderstandable, non-understandable, incorrect action in their life. After having such a long personal and social life, they have done something which is not appropriate for them at all. They have done something very wrong in their life. We cannot imagine that that person can do such an action. Why? Because they have the Smruti Vibrama. Forgetting who is oneself, forgetting who am I. It is so much of greed, it is so much of attraction towards that object through the senses that a person forgets completely what he or she is. That is Vibrama. Smruti Vibrama. That complete loss of what is called as a samabhav. There is no equanimity is equivalent to a samabhav, but samabhav has got a more wider definition. In English, it is very difficult to have a one-word definition of samabhav. When we do the prayer, Sarvena Sukhina Sarve Sukhina Santu Sarve Santu Niramayaha, that is samabhav. Equanimity. So we completely lose it when there is a Smruti Vibrama. It is me, I, and only that object in the life, in the world. There is nothing else around. And there is an action to get that. Smruti Vibrama brings the action into the person. Until there is a krodha, when there is a sammoha, it is still within. But when Smruti Vibrama starts, a person starts acting in that direction. Smruti Vibrama. And when that action starts, Buddhinasha, the capacity to logical thinking and decision for proper actions is completely lost. Doing actions without using any intellect. That is Buddhinasha. In fact, there is no intellect left in this stage. The existence of intellect is gone. It is only through the mind. Basically, in very small way, we can say that we become an animal. An animal works through the mind and not through the intellect. Here the mind has taken the full control over the intellect. There is no intellect to judge, evaluate, compare, or think of consequences. That is what is the status here. That is buddhi nasha. We have seen example. Yeah, we always think, in practical life, we see there are some girls who who run away and get married with a completely wrong person. Completely inappropriate, not matching, incorrect person. They get married. Of course, they repent after some years, after some time. Depends on how much it is. But at that moment, they see nothing in the world except to have that man with them. Smruti Vibhrama and Buddhi Nasha. And then we say, in Hindi we say, Teri buddhi chali gayi hai. Teri akal kahan hai? Vagera vagera. We say that. Buddhi Nasha. And because of that action, there is a total ruin. Pranashyati. Pranashyati means total ruin. Now in this case, if we say, oh, pranashyati, ruin, that means there will be very bad condition happening to the person. A person will become very poor, or a person will go in jail, or a person will be having, all those disease. No, this does not, connect only to that level. Because when we talk about all this pranashyati and all, we think about it, right? That a person has done something bad, person has gone into this, and person will be in a bad condition, physically or all that. No. It is also applicable in good condition. And the excellent example of it is Ravan. Who is Ravan? He has got excellent economy. Imagine, we are told that Sone ki Lanka, a golden city, Sone ki Lanka. Even the poormost person in the country is having the golden roof. That is Sone ki Lanka. Golden roof. That is his economy. What a economic power, what a economic way, what is the economic policy. And technology. He has the best defense technology. Nobody can enter in Lanka. It is covered by ocean. There is Lankini, there are different doors, there are gates. Nobody can enter such a great defensive system. Technology. He has Ravan had an aeroplane. Ram didn't have. In Ayodhya there is no aeroplane. Technology and money. Lots of money. Yes. And knowledge. The third one is knowledge. Ravan was having great knowledge. A very learned person. A very learned person. He gave the raga to the Veda. How to sing Veda, he created the raga for Vedas. Such a learned person. He was a devotee. He was a devotee of Shankar. So it's not that he doesn't have devotion also. He is devotee also. Still, uska nash ho gaya. Pranashyati. So, when we talk about pranashyati, it doesn't mean only those people who are with disease or who are with, very poor people. A person with a Smruti Vibhrama can be a very rich person, can be a very famous person, can be a very beautiful and handsome person, can be a very knowledgeable person. But the moment they start into the cycle of moha, krodha, sammoha, Smruti Vibhrama, buddhi nasha, and then pranashyati. This cycle can come any time in anybody's life. Any time in anybody's life. So how can we protect ourselves for that? How can we say, how can we have a cure for this problem? And the cure problem is coming to the Smruti. Which Smruti we are talking? Smruti of what? Which memory we are talking about? The memory of who am I? That is what Sankhya Yoga is. Who am I? Purush, Prakriti and Parameshwar or Creator. That is Sankhya Yoga. I am not the body, I am not the limbs, I am not the senses, I am within. And we took that example. When we say this is my computer, that means the computer is different than me. That is why we say this is my computer. I am different, computer is different. So when I say this is my hand, when I say this is my hand, that means I am not my hand. That I inside is to be understood when the purpose of existence, creation of the I will be understood. All this moha will never happen. Because that I is untouched by all these things. That I is not having any gain or loss. And we studied about it in the earlier slokas. That is why the Sankhya Yoga is. Sankhya Yoga is for understanding who am I. The memory of myself. I have come through a long path and I will be going to another long path. This is not my destination, but this is my stoppage. This life, my present life, is a stoppage. It's a halt. I always give that example to even my family member and other people also. That suppose you are traveling, let us take Canadian example. So suppose you are traveling to say Montreal and you are passing through Kingston. Going from Toronto, you are going to Montreal and you are passing through Kingston. You are hungry, so you take a diversion, you come out of 401 and you go to some pizza restaurant, you see the King, and while going you see the Kingston city. And you are so happy to see the Kingston city. It is a very good city. You liked it. It is such a good city. It is so many nice people. They greet you, they talk to you, they give you love and affection, they give you shelter. They tell you, you stay here. And your mind says, yeah, this is a very beautiful place to live. But if you have to go to Montreal, you cannot live at Kingston City. You have to leave it. You cannot live your life in Kingston because you have to go to Montreal. In the same way, the journey of our soul, our Atma or I, what we say ourselves, is from body to body. That is what Sankhya Yoga is explained us. It is from one body to another body. Which cannot be killed, which cannot be burnt, which cannot be sected, which cannot be cut through. That is what the slokas came, if you remember. That is what Sankhya Yoga is telling. So here in this cycle of connection, and then connection creating moha, moha creating krodha, krodha creating sammoha, sammoha creating Smriti Vibrama, and Smriti Vibrama creating Buddhi Nasha, is connected, is not supposed to be connected with what is called as a I or myself. And that is why that Smriti, that memory, we should always keep in mind. When that is memory in our mind, and we understand that this is the life which I am given, and I am not the owner of these objects, my house, my relatives, friends, money, position, power, prestige, celebrities. Yeah, everything is not me. I am untouched. I am inside. And one day I am going to leave this. I will not take anything with me. And anything of this is not going to come with me. Understanding the I and remembering that Smriti, the Smriti is of that who am I? When that Smriti will be there continuously in our mind, we will not get trapped into this whole cycle of moha and sammoha and krodha. That memory has to be always there, all through the life, at every stage of life. The earlier we understand it, the better we can enjoy life. Because then what is called in Hindi we say sapeksha bhav. We can live our life with sapeksha bhav. That is the fun. That is the fun. That is that is how we have that this is not my possession. That memory has to be there. So we will go to the next upcoming sloka, that and also here, because we have to remember that if I am a soul, then who is managing my soul and my movement? And then we need God. So even if Sankhya, there is no believing in God, it actually leads to the need of God. Why do we need God in life? Remember, because we are talking about Sankhya Yoga, there is no bhakti here. It is only intellect. So through the intellect, we have to understand that we need something as God in our life. Even though Sankhya completely disagrees with the existence of so-called God, which we say, the Murti Puja and Bhakti and all, they completely disagree, but still their conclusion leads to a necessity of God. Very deep, but very important. Those who are completely non-believer in God, completely not believer in any of those things, finally lead to a conclusion that we need it. And we will see that in the upcoming sloka. So I will change the 64th sloka now, which is going as a, after explaining the cycle, the vicious cycle of committing the errors and mistakes in our life, how does a person who has not gone into it lives? How do they live their life? So I will chant the 64th sloka. Raga dvesha viyuktestu vishayanindriyescharan atma vashyair videyatma prasadam adhigacchati. How does a person who has not got trapped into this vicious cycle will live? That person will be videyatma, atma sanyami. आत्म संयमी पुरुष राग द्वेष से रहित, अपने वश में किए हुई, आत्मवश्य खुद के वश में किए हुई, आत्मवश्य अपने वश में किए हुई इंद्रियों द्वारा विषयों को भोगता हुआ प्रसन्नता को प्राप्त करता है. That is the meaning. One who has controls over the mind and senses and who is free from the attachment, moha, and aversion, even while using the objects of the senses, attains the grace of God. That is the meaning of this sloka. Raga dvesha, attachment, raga and dvesha, attachment and aversion. Viyukte, free, who is free of attachment and aversions. Vishayanindriyas chairana, Vishaya, objects of senses, for indriya, charan, while using. See here the word in nindriyas chairana. Charana means using, while walking through, while going through, being among that. Still, atma vashye, because he is in the control, videyatma prasadam adhigacchati. He is happy. So he is enjoying. That the important part here, that the person who is of that psychology, who has attained that level, is enjoying the sensual happiness. A simple example, I will say, we've got 2 minutes more, so I will give an example, that when we eat, suppose there is a nice dish, Shrikhand, it's a Indian dish, it's a very nice sweet dish made of yogurt, that is called as a Shrikhand. Or imagine any other dish, samosas or nothing, no problem. We are eating Shrikhand, and Shankaracharya is eating Shrikhand. Both of us feel the same sweetness on the tongue. Shankaracharya will also feel the same sweetness of the Srikhand which we feel. There is no difference in the sensing of the tongue. Both of us eat same amount maybe. But when I am eating, I am dissatisfied. I am left dissatisfied. Why? Because I need Srikhand again and again. Today my tongue is satisfied, but I am hungry, or I still have the craving, and that is why what will happen is that I will need the Srikhand again and again. And that will let me into the vicious cycle. But when the Shankaracharya is eating Srikhand, he is eating it at that moment, living in the moment. He doesn't need it in past, that oh, I have a craving of Srikhand, so I want it. It doesn't have needing in future, that oh, this Srikhand is so good and I will pack a box of it so that I can eat it tomorrow. Shankaracharya will live in present, not in the past, not in the future. And that is why he can enjoy the Srikhand much better and still not get indulged into that vicious cycle. We will understand about this again when we come next Saturday, 10 o'clock, 10 to 11, and go further on the 64th sloka of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. Till then, I wish everyone a happy weekend. It's raining and cold. Take care of your health. Take flu shots if you're not taken. It's good to have them. And wishing you all the best, and meet you next Saturday, 10 to 11. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kansachanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Guruve